Multi-level marketing, also known as MLM, is a business model that operates in such a way that there are multiple levels to it, as the name implies. What you often have is at the top, someone who either started a business themselves or were a very early adopter and kind of created their own branch of said business. You then have a few people underneath them who are still relatively early adopters. You then have sort of like everyone else, and finally like your late adopters. And what you could liken this to is a triangle or a pyramid. Now, a lot of people do confuse multi-level marketing with pyramid schemes. Let me just quickly clarify, they are not the same thing. I'm not defending MLMs, I'm just saying they're not the same. A pyramid scheme does not have a product or service. All it is you're paying either a one-off or a monthly subscription to be part of a club, you know, where you get other people involved who are then paying to be part of the same. You promise them all these things, you promise they're going to make loads of money by recruiting other people. That's all it is. You're just recruiting people into nothing. That is the key difference. Whereas multi-level marketing, there is a product or service. So I just thought I'd clarify that real quick. Now, in 2021, a lot of people are looking to make passive income, you know, and they're looking to work online. I think that's the right way to go. I think the world is moving online. I feel like COVID has accelerated that. And people just aren't happy with their work-life balance and their situations that they're in. And we're all really looking for a way out. I'll put my hand up and say exactly the same thing. I was miserable in my job, which is what provoked me to join an MLM, or 3 of them. And I'm just going to go into a little bit of detail in this video about my own personal experiences. The 3 that I joined, one of them I outright left, one of them I'm still kind of part of, and the final one I actually am still part of. So I'll be describing that, and then I'm just going to give you a little bit of advice on whether or not you should join one. So let's start off with the pros of multi-level marketing. So you don't need any prior experience. You can literally just join one. They normally give you the training that you need to get on with it. Now, the training that you do receive depends entirely on who you join up with. Some of them I've had have been really good, other ones not so good. So be wary of who you sign up with, do your research and make sure that the training is actually bang on if you can. That is, don't join something, you know, until you've seen what you're joining. It's unlimited earning potential. You earn as much as you sell. There is no cap. You could literally, if you're a selling machine, you could make 70 grand in a year. There's nothing stopping you from doing that, or maybe double that, you know. And especially if you get to the point where you have made enough team members that you are further at the top of said triangle, then you'll be making money from your team members as well. So you could make a lot of money through multi-level marketing. Another benefit, a lot of it is online. Not all of it, a lot of it is online. So you can technically work from anywhere you want. You can work from home, you can work abroad, you can not work, you know. A lot of it does tend to run in the background as well, because you're posting on social media, you're well, depends on the product and service as well, but you're kind of like out there at all times, so you don't need to constantly work on it. A lot of them as well, you're kind of your own boss, which is cool. You can set your own hours, you can do as much or as little work as you want. Yeah. And also my experience with MLMs, I will say another benefit is you do tend to level up a lot. You learn a lot, you gain a lot of insight, you gain confidence, you have to speak to lots of different people, you learn how to accept rejection. There are some quite, you know, good things that come from being part of an MLM. But let me get on to the bad things, because it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Pretty much all of them you have to pay to join. Now, it really depends on the price point. If it's affordable, then that's not such a bad thing. If it's, you know, a one-off that's, you know, maybe 10 grand, that's a lot of money, you know, that's a lot of money to spend to join something. Or maybe it's a monthly subscription of like £200 per month or something. Again, that might not seem too bad at the start, but eventually, if you're not making the sales that you thought you would, that could financially cripple you. So yeah, price point. The next one, I suppose, is the product or service itself. Again, like, this is very situational. You need to make sure, like, do your research, make sure that what you're signing up to is something you can really get behind. You don't want to be into something that's just conning other people. You don't want to be into something that you do not feel benefits people. You really need to be happy, satisfied that what you are essentially distributing around and getting other people into is going to benefit them as well. If it's not, then that's a huge con, and that can actually affect your ability to sell it depending on what kind of person you are. So yeah, another con is that it can completely take over your life. So you may have noticed this, a lot of people who are in MLM, it becomes them, or they become it, and everything they do, just, it almost becomes sickly with how business oriented they are. Every single post, every conversation, you know, they almost turn into just like a sales machine, and they're not really a person anymore. This is a situation as well. It depends on you. You might not get absorbed into that, but some people I have seen really just become their business to the point where they're almost like a robot with it, which is quite sad. So there's a few cons. Now I'm going to go through my own personal experiences now, and you'll be hearing pros and cons and opinions and all sorts. And at the end of the video, I will be sharing what I feel is the best option for you with regards to joining an MLM. At the end of 2020, I found myself in a position where I was absolutely desperate to get out of the job I was in at the time. I was just miserable. I won't go into details on that, but I was miserable. And I saw an advert on Facebook to basically join an MLM. I didn't fully know what it was at the time. It was still quite new to me. I'd heard of MLMs before, and I thought they were pyramid schemes, which is why I addressed that at the start. But anyways, after chatting to the people and then chatting to their coaches, I got involved. So I paid £77 to join. What that gave me was access to a Facebook group and also training on how to start my own online business. I will say that was 100% worth every single penny. It was awesome. Really good training. I connected with loads of like-minded people. You know, I still feel good about that aspect of it, and I'm happy that I joined that. Now, what I wasn't overly happy with was the second part. You then had the option, okay, so after you basically made your online business, you don't actually have a business until you become an affiliate of theirs. So they sell health products on behalf of a well-known company, and they are known as distributors, and you have to pay, you have to buy one of their products to become a distributor, so you can also then distribute the products. Now the price points range from £700 to 10,000. So yeah, you need to be really careful when you're joining MLMs that you do not sign up to something that you cannot afford. The second one I joined, it was November 2020, and that one was based around Forex. They also offered other services such as like e-commerce, dropshipping, high frequency Forex, and yeah, recruitment, actually getting people in. That was a monthly subscription of £200. I had to pay that, and your monthly fee is waived if you can get 2 sign-ups under you on your team. Now, I tried, but I failed to do that. It is harder than you'd think to get sign-ups. That's something I struggled with. I had a lot of, you know, video calls, voice calls, sent hundreds of messages, and I didn't get a single sign-up in. With that one, it was 6 months, but with the first one, it was a year. Okay, and now the third one, I'm still part of. And what that is I basically gave my money to someone, and they have invested that money on my behalf into Forex. So yeah, I've done Forex myself. I don't really get on with it. I'm probably gonna make a video on that. It's not as straightforward as people say. Yeah, this one, they trade on your behalf. They have years of practice, and I'm reliably making $23 a week, which isn't too bad. It's not exactly making money, it's not life-changing, but it's more income. It is literally passive income, as they say. And the longer you spend in it, as you upgrade from account to account with the money that you're making, you will eventually make more money per week. And hopefully in 10 years time, that could be, I don't know, $10,000 or something. So it's very, I think that's one worth staying in. I do. You also have the ability in that business to recruit people if you want, but if you don't, you're still making money passively. So I really can get behind that one. So for the final verdict, should you join an MLM? Well, it's very situational. It depends on the MLM itself. It depends on how much money you have. It depends on how willing you are to push yourself outside of your comfort zone and accept rejection. Yeah, you really need to think about all the things that I've said and then think, is MLM for me? If you'd like to know more about MLMs, online businesses, and general personal development, mostly personal development, there is a link in the description. So do check that out. And yeah, thank you for watching.